What kind of foods do pelicans like to eat? To change the list level, highlight fish. Under bullets, change list level. Fish should be a level 2. So to adjust your list levels, click bullets, change list levels. Level 1, level 2, level 3. To sort the states alphabetically, highlight the entire table, layout, sort. State, if I want it to be alphabetical, that would be ascending, A to Z. To adjust the width of the table, I can go to layout, and then I'll be able to see the width that I can do for each section. So remember, there's a difference of a table versus columns. To merge the top 2 rows here is easy because you see the borders. However, you may not have borders on the table. And before you can click to merge the cells, you have to have 2 or more cells highlighted. So to merge cells, you need to make sure you hold your cursor down and drag all the way across. Then we can click Merge Cells. If I want my header row to repeat on the next page, highlight my header row, Layout, Repeat Header Rows. To add a bookmark, highlight the text, Insert Ribbon, Bookmark, and add the text. If you want to add a footnote after the item, don't highlight the entire section. Instead, if it says after darters, all we do is references, insert footnote, types of pelicans. To insert a footer, insert, footer, and I'm going to choose banded. So remember, a footnote is under references, okay, because that is a reference for your page. A footer goes at the bottom of the page, and it might have a date, a page number, or other information. To save as plain text, File for the Backstage view, Save As, choose a folder, Save As Type, Plain Text. Or we could do template, whatever the directions say. To add a subject, File, I would just always go ahead and do Show All Properties, so that way it's easy to find the subject. To inspect for the document, to apply a border, click on the image, Format, then apply whatever picture style the directions say. To wrap text, you have to click on the image, not the text. Click the image, right beside there, your layout options, and I want to wrap this text square. So again, to wrap text, you need to select the image, not the text. To apply the same formatting for the second fact, highlight the first one and click Format Painter. your cursor will turn to a paintbrush and then paint over the section you want to change. So to copy formatting, select the text you want it to look like. Format Painter, and then select the text you want to change. To place text in 2 columns, that's not a table. Okay, so highlight our text, and that's going to be Layout. Always just go ahead and do More Columns. Then you'll be on the right place to change 2 columns and maybe add a line between if the directions say to. So again, if I want to copy the formatting from paragraph 2 to this section, highlight part of the text, click Format Painter from the Home ribbon, highlight, and then let go of your cursor. If we want to change the line spacing of this entire section, I can highlight my text and go to Paragraph. Here is line spacing. So if it says to make the line spacing 14 points, do that. So making the line spacing 14 points goes here. It does not go in the spacing after section. If we wanted to adjust the spacing after, in this case, to adjust the spacing after each bullet, I can click Paragraph, and then after I could change to 6 points and OK. Maybe in this one I want to change the spacing after to 8 points so we can see the difference. Okay, so that just adds a little bit more space between each bullet. So that is spacing after. If I want to make only page 3 landscape, go to Layout. Don't ever change it here. Always go to Page Setup. We can do landscape, but then we need to make sure that we can apply it to that section or that point forward, depending on what the directions say. Okay, so you can see that this page here is in landscape, and then all the others are in portrait. If we want this to start at the beginning of the next column, Layout, and this is under Breaks, not Column. So we have to go to Break, and then choose Column Break. That one can be tricky because you get to that under Breaks, not Columns. I've highlighted my Smart Art. Under Design, I can change the colors. I could also apply a style like Polished or Cartoon. And if I wanted to swap those, I can click Right to Left. I want to apply a heading 1 style to Pelican Makeup. Heading 1. So if you're applying something to a small amount of text, it's going to be under Styles. If you're wanting to apply a style set to the entire document, that is under Design. Okay, and maybe it says to do Lines Simple and apply that to the entire document. Okay, so that is different than when you are adding items that are headings. To apply an effect to a picture, click the Picture, Format, Artistic Effects. In this one, we want to apply Mosaic Bubbles. Pelican Facts is a heading 2. At the top, I want to insert a table of contents. So that will be under References, Table of Contents, and I'm going to choose Automatic Table 2. Now this has 2 levels. My level 1s are my heading 1s, Key Facts, Pelican Makeup, and Types of Pelicans. Kangaroos, Pelican Facts are a level 2. If I wanted to change that, I could go to a manual table of contents, and right here where it says show levels, I could maybe change that to show 1 levels and click OK. Or let me delete that one. Okay, so if you only want to show 1 label, under Table of Contents, and this example Custom, where it says Show Levels, I'm changing that to 1. To inspect the document for handicapped viewers, File, check for issues, and check accessibility. This will identify places that people have a hard time to read. Okay. So it says missing alternative text diagram 5. I have to click diagram 5 and then the drop down box beside it until I can get to the recommended action. Okay? And so the directions might tell me to do the first option or the second option. So again, to look at the options to change, you're going to have to click the down arrow and look at the recommended actions, and that is in the handicapped accessibility. To insert a copyright symbol, insert, symbol, more symbols. If it doesn't give you a font name and a character code, then you'll know to find it under special characters. So copyright, registered, trademark, all of those are under insert symbols, but special characters. To insert a image, this is a 3D model, I can go to 3D models. Unfortunately, they don't have pelicans. So in this case, I can insert a 3D model of a flamingo. And then I can also adjust the model views right here. To change the numbering format, these pelican tags begin with the number 500 because these are from section 5. So I'm going to click in my numbering section, right click, and I can set the numbering value. I want these to begin at 500 and press OK. Or I could have continued from another list depending on what the directions say. I want to apply a predefined fill set. Highlight your text. Under Text Effects, I'm going to choose the one that my direction said, which is to fill gold, accent color 4, with a soft bevel. I could also go and apply an outline, a shadow, a reflection, or a glow. To insert a hyperlink to a website, highlight the text, insert, or I could go over here to right here, and I could do link and a website, and then I could just type the link that I am given. Right now my footnotes have the number 1. If I wanted to swap my footnotes and endnotes, I could go down and double click on my footnote and then go to References, and I want to open up my footnotes. Okay. So I could convert footnotes to endnotes. Right now they are a numbered format. I could change the numbering format if my directions told me to do that as well. To insert a shape at the bottom of page 2, insert, shape, the directions may tell you to apply a theme or style. Remember, this column here is always accent 6. This column here is always accent color 1. And then if I wanted to add text to there, I can click and just start to type. To make sure the table or the shape is aligned, I can click Align, and I could do Align Bottom, okay, and then Align Center. Okay, so you can go over here to Align, and you can align it to the page or to the margin. In that case, I'm going to bring mine up just a little bit so it doesn't hang over. To insert a placeholder citation after the first sentence, place your cursor, References, Insert Citation, add a placeholder. Okay, I'll name that Pelican Book 1, and then it adds a placeholder that I can later go back and edit my citation. If I want to replace the word food with pray, find and replace the word pray with the word food. I can either replace all, okay, or replace it just some of the places. Okay, so if you want to skip it, you can do find next. If you want to replace it, you can do replace. Or your directions may tell you to replace all. If you have comments, under the review ribbon, I can do my show markup. And then when I put my mouse here, I could either reply, resolve, okay, or if you've already done that, you could do resolve, okay, which lets somebody know that you've done that, or you could actually delete the entire comment. Okay. So when you click on it, you've got reply and resolve, but to delete a comment, you have to go up here to the review ribbon. If you want to insert a drop cap, simply highlight the first letter, and under the insert ribbon, click drop cap. That lets the reader know that you're beginning a new paragraph. To clear the formatting, highlight the word. Under the home ribbon, simply use the clear all formatting. Again, I could use the format painter to go back and make that just like all of the other fonts. To insert a symbol of the world using Webdeans 252. I'm going to place my cursor, symbol, more symbols. Under font, I'm going to need to go and choose Webdeans. Then down here in the character code, instead of 32, I need to type 252 and hit enter. And typically it may also tell you the name of it. And just look, is that a picture of a world? Then you know if you did it correctly. So again, insert symbol, and typically they will tell you the font you have to choose first, and then you will type a character code number down here in the bottom. To delete some rows in a table, I can highlight them and click delete and delete rows. Okay. If I wanted to convert this table to text, highlight my table. Under layout, convert to text, and use tabs. If I changed my mind, I could go and highlight my text, and I'm going to go to Insert, Table, Convert Text to Table. Okay. And here I can choose to auto-fit the contents or to the window. If I choose auto-fit to the window, it's going to space that out to the end of the page. If I change it and I go to Layout, Auto-fit Contents, then the width of the column will only be as long as the word. And I can go to Design, and I can also apply any of the different table or list styles that I want. And remember, a table is completely different than adding things in a column. So right now, this is kind of all lopsided. So I want this to start in a new page. So I'm going to go to Layout, Break, and I want to do a Next Page section break. So now automatically that starts at the beginning of a new page. To add a border to an image, remember we can click Format and add a border. Okay, and I may want to add alt text. Says we know what that is, a picture of pelican with mouth open. If I want to insert a table that has 2 columns and 6 rows, Insert, Table, always just go ahead and go straight to Insert Table, then you can do the numbers. Okay, 2 columns and 6 rows. Otherwise, you may get confused if you try to draw it out. And it might tell me to do auto-fit to the contents. Okay, and then my table is ready. I have my track changes on, and I'm going to click Next. Okay, so that was a comment. So right here, I can see where the word mainly was deleted, and then the text as their primary food source was added. So if I like this, I can click Accept. Pelicans eat fish as their primary food source. I can accept because I like that. Right here, the word easily was deleted. If I don't want to accept that, I can click Reject. Okay, and now it leaves it in there. Okay, so once you have changes that are done, you can go through them and you can either accept the change or reject the change. And typically the changes, so instead of cooperatively, I could delete that with the backspace. Together. So then when I go through my changes, where it says cooperatively, I could either accept it, okay, or reject it. If I wanted to indent this entire section, I could highlight the section under Home, and I could do Increase Indent, or I could go to the paragraph options and do my indent here. And again, spacing after is different than your line spacing. Okay, so maybe right here I want a little bit more space before and after this. So I'm going to change my before and after line spacing for just this one section to 18. Okay, so it still has the same line spacing. I just added a little bit more space before and after that.